Gains by Brains, an icon. Obviously, she has an incredible physique, but I also really love and admire her mindset and approach to health, fitness, nutrition, all of it. She recently came out with an app, and I downloaded it and purchased it. She has various workout plans, but she also has a ton of meals and lots of meal inspo, and a lot of meals that I have seen in her videos before too. So we're doing a full day of eating like Gains by Brains, aka Sophie. Her name is Sophie. And I took these meals directly from the app, so they are created by her, recommended by her meals. Let's get into it. Breakfast. Breakfast is a cheesy air fryer veggie tortilla pizza. She has the prep and the cooking time, the description, all of the calories and macronutrient information, then the ingredient breakdown, kitchen utensils needed, and then all of the cooking steps. I went ahead and cut things up already, which was a little tedious, but you just gotta do what you gotta do. This is actually an air fryer recipe. You take a tortilla. I'm sure you could use a special tortilla if you want, either a wheat tortilla, something high in protein, maybe low in carb. This is just a basic flour tortilla. Also, there's an onion in this, and I just have to say, if you don't have a veggie chopper, get one. It's life-changing. I didn't cry while cutting this because of it. It says to place the veggies on the edge of the tortilla, so we'll start with the bell pepper. Obviously, with something like this, you could totally change up the ingredients as you want because, you know, it's toppings. So cater it to how you like. Next, the onion. We'll do a little in the middle. I'm wondering if it's the edges just to create like a barrier so the egg doesn't slide off. Some jalapeno. I feel like it looks like I have more veggies on mine than in her picture for some reason. Maybe not though, I don't know. What do you think? Then the cheese slices. Love fresh mozzarella. Again, it looks like I'm using way more cheese, but I measured out a 1/3 cup. The cheese slices can cover the whole thing though. Then you're supposed to crack an egg just directly in the middle. Then we just put it in the air fryer at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 7 minutes. This is what it looks like initially, but the egg is a little too liquidy for me, so I'm gonna put it in a little bit longer. Here's what it looks like now. Everything looks pretty good, like the color of everything. I do wish the egg was just a little bit more cooked, but that could totally be personal preference, but I wanted to take it out because I didn't want, for example, the cheese to burn anymore. Now the egg yolk can like run over all the pieces and mix in the flavor. This is gonna be good. It really does look amazing and it's very pretty, not gonna lie. I feel like this is definitely kind of a crowd pleaser meal. You know, it's a pizza, right? Like who doesn't like pizza? I mean, it's a veggie pizza, but if you like all the ingredients, like you're gonna like this together. Although picking it up, it is a little messy because the egg still is a bit runny. This is very good. You could totally add like spinach in it or something like that for some more toppings or veggies if you wanted, but this is such a great way to get in a bunch of good ingredients. It's yummy, fairly easy, you just have to cut stuff up. A lot of like household ingredients too. My only issue is that I do wish the egg was a little more cooked, but the problem is that if I left it in the air fryer too long, I didn't want the other stuff to get too done. So that's the only flaw in my personal opinion. Again, that could be preference. However, this is definitely something I will be making again. I also love it for the nutritional value. There's great things in here. It's a well-rounded meal. It's a great way to start your day. And I would give it like, I don't know, an 8 or 9 out of 10. I'm not very picky, but if there's really only one minor issue, it's like, it's pretty darn good. I ate that right up. It was a little bit messy just because of how runny the egg was, but overall, very good, we'll make again. For lunch, we are making crispy rice with spicy tuna salad and cucumber. This specifically is a recipe I've seen her make in one of her videos, and I thought it looked so good, so I'm very excited to try it. I have a serving of sushi rice here, all rinsed, into the rice cooker with water. First, you literally just cook the rice. You don't need a rice cooker, but I have one, so I'm gonna take advantage. Otherwise, you just cook it however you like to cook your rice. So it's done. Add in the rice vinegar. In a bowl, we make a tuna mixture. I'm gonna dump a full can of tuna in here. This technically says a 5-ounce can. The recipe calls for a 2-ounce can. I know that's a big difference, but this is like the standard size at my grocery store, and this is 1 serving. So I'm just gonna use the whole thing and we'll see how it goes. Some light mayo, Greek yogurt, sriracha, soy sauce, scallions, or these are just green onions. Honestly, not sure if they're the same thing, but at my grocery store, they're called green onions, and a little pepper. Mix this all together. See, I think this is definitely the right amount of tuna, because if I had less than half of this, it would be way too much of the like sauce mix and not enough tuna. It smells good. The next part is essentially where we're making the regular rice crispy rice, and I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm also not sure what size to make them. I'm just gonna guess my best. All right, we'll put a little oil on the pan. And then we're supposed to make little rectangles of rice. I don't know how well I'm gonna shape them or size them. Doing my best here. If they're not the perfect shape, it's not the end of the world as long as they taste good. The thing is, it doesn't say if you flip these or anything, but the picture has them looking crispy. This is kind of tricky. Oh no. I'm trying to check the bottoms of them, but then I just keep sticking to everything. This one might be more of a fail. Okay, see, that looks done. But like, do I flip it? That one looks good. So I think this one just requires practice. I also think I didn't use enough oil. This obviously could have been better, but I honestly think it could have been much worse too. But then you just take the mixture and you top the rice. I have a little bit of the mixture left over. I also wasted a little bit of rice, so makes sense. And you add thinly sliced cucumbers. I didn't buy a mini cucumber. I couldn't find any, but ideally you would add the cute little mini ones in little mini pieces and it would just look cuter. It also calls for chili flakes on top. I'm not gonna add any, but that's just personal preference. I don't want any. They don't look bad. Very excited, honestly. Here we go. I'm assuming you probably normally eat these with chopsticks as one bite, but I'm just using a fork for now. Kind of falling apart, but that's okay. I really like the crispy rice, and I've never made that at home. Honestly, this is really good. It didn't like completely blow me away, but I do want to get better at making the crispy rice because I do really like it. It would be so much better if I had like fresh tuna, you know, as if I was in like a Japanese restaurant, but obviously it's less accessible, way more expensive, more prep, whatever. So this is good. It's super nutritious, lots of protein, good variety of foods. It really doesn't take that long. And if you're able to get the crispy rice down, then I think it's pretty easy, especially if you have a rice cooker that takes out a whole chunk of this. I'd give it a 7 or 8 because it is a little bit difficult for maybe your everyday average person like me. But again, this is my first time ever making crispy rice. With practice, I'm sure I could get it down better. This is definitely something I would make again. It's a great lunch. I am so full after that. I have like a tiny bit left of this mix, but like I don't even know if I can eat that. The good thing about having a good mix of carbs, fats, protein, like all the things though, is like it fills you up. And like I can't even think of eating something else right now. Like I'm full. Like I don't even keeps you satiated. It's a little bit later, but not quite dinner time, so we are making a snack. We are doing the baked zucchini chips. So I thinly sliced, to the best of my ability, 1 zucchini. I do like zucchini, and I'm not a huge chip person, so I think these will be good for me, but you know, they're not gonna taste like real chips, right? They're just called zucchini chips because of the thinness, the crispiness. I think they'll be pretty good. I went and preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Not gonna lie, I totally thought this would have been an air fryer recipe, but it's just regular oven, so we'll see how they turn out. First, we just gotta get the zucchini all coated with oil. Separately, we'll mix the panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, a little garlic powder, a little salt, and little pepper. This next part is a little tedious, not gonna lie, just because you do have to hand coat each of these. I've made something similar in the air fryer where I just mixed it all in the bowl, but I do think taking the time to do it this way will have a better turnout and honestly be much yummier. I had to switch them to a bigger pan because I definitely underestimated how many this would make, and then I just sprinkled the extra breadcrumb mix over the top because why not? Alexa, set a 15-minute timer.
15 minutes, starting now.
It says 15 to 20 minutes, so we'll start with 15. They smell so good. I actually ended up leaving them in way longer than 20 minutes because I wanted them to get really crispy, and they just weren't after like 20 minutes, but I'm very excited to try. The really little and thin one is pretty, like, sturdy. That's pretty darn good. And then the bigger ones are a little flimsy still, but they still seem like baked. Ooh, honestly, that's better than I thought. Like, I like zucchini, but I don't eat it all that often. I do think this is better than I expected it to be, though. I'd give it like maybe an 8 out of 10. I mean, it was a little tedious, but I will make this again. It's better than I thought. It didn't blow me away. I don't know, maybe a 9 out of 10, something like that. I'm really bad with rating things. Like, I don't know how to be consistent with it, but it's good. It's good. It's a good healthy snack. Would recommend. For dinner, we are making chicken flautas. To be completely honest, I prefer cooking chicken in the oven, but this says to throw some oil on a pan and cook it till it's done that way, so I'm gonna follow that. I have one large chicken breast here. For the filling, we'll mix together some cream cheese, shredded cheese. I didn't buy shredded cheese though. I do prefer to shred my own just because of the dust stuff in the bag shredded cheese. Salsa, a little salt, a little pepper. The chicken breast I cooked was huge, so I'm definitely not gonna put the whole thing in this mixture because this is for one person. And I looked up what a serving size of chicken breast was. It said anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces. So I went and cut up and weighed 1 serving of chicken. This is just over 4 ounces. It says to shred it, but I don't really have a good way of doing that, so I just cut it up because that was easier. Then of course, we throw it in this mixture and mix all of this together. Time to assemble the tortillas. It doesn't say what size tortilla. These are just soft taco shell size, and I'm just doing half the mixture. Roll it up tight. Might be nice if these were a little bit tighter, but it's fine. Alexa, set a 10-minute timer.
10 minutes, starting now.
How much time is left on the timer?
You have 50 seconds left on 10 minutes.
Ooh. The timer didn't go off yet, but they were getting a little burnt, so I went and took them out. In the picture, she topped hers with these, so I'm going to as well. Why not? These honestly look so good. Like, I am very excited about them. However, I don't know if I'm gonna be hungry enough to eat both. You could totally dip these in like salsa, sour cream. They'd be good with avocado, guacamole, some sort of queso. Those are good. Very good. This is honestly super easy to put together too. And it's not like, you know, the best chicken tortilla dish I've ever had in the entire world, but honestly, I think it deserves a 10 out of 10. It's really good. It's easy ingredients. It's easy to put together. It's fast. You can customize it. You get a full serving of protein. And I just really like how these meals, they're not like, when you think about someone who's like really healthy, they're not like bland and boring. Like, they're good. They have a lot of good stuff in them. They're balanced. They're well-rounded. I have been really liking this whole day. It has been more cooking than I typically do, which I assumed would happen, but good. Healthy food takes some time. You know, health is wealth, but it takes work. It's time consuming. So good. And now for dessert, we are making peanut butter chocolate banana bites. So first we do kind of this like double boil situation. I don't have the best size pans and bowls to use, so we're just gonna kind of cross our fingers and hope it works out. But you heat up some water and you put a bowl in. It's just a good way of melting stuff, essentially. I have this chocolate. It just says to use 3 squares of dark chocolate. We'll see if this ends up being enough though. And then we just add a little coconut oil in there too. As that's melting, this part is actually kind of interesting to me. So you just cut a banana into bites, however big you want. This one's for the dog. Sit. Good boy. But it says to take out the middle of the banana with a straw. I've never done that before. I hope this just kind of works out. I've also never heard of this technique. That doesn't mean that it's rare. It just means I've never done it before. So far, none of them have broke, though. It's been pretty easy. You're then supposed to add peanut butter in the middle of these. I threw this in the microwave because I just don't think I would have been able to neatly get it in the middle of these unless it was a little melty, you know? So I'm gonna do my best, but this just seems difficult. Okay, that one worked a little better. It's really cool if you can get it to actually work well. Kind of fun. Like, it is going through to the other side, so that's good. So next, we're just supposed to dip the banana in this chocolate, but see, that's like barely any chocolate, so I'm just gonna add a few more squares in, because this would not cover all of them. And it's not like I have to eat all of them right now, too. However, we are gonna top them with peanuts, and I wanna do it as fast as possible after I dip them in chocolate, so I need to cut these up now. Kinda wish I got different ones. Like, I didn't realize these had the skins on them. I feel like I don't really want the skins, but that's fine. We'll work with what we have. All right, next you just take the banana. You're supposed to dip it in the chocolate. There we go. And then you take the nuts and go like that. I normally don't want my dessert to have nuts in it, but I don't know, this one just seems right. It is messy, But they look good. I don't know, I'm excited. I also thought the chocolate was gonna be too hot to touch, but it's really not. So this works out nice just using your hands. Maybe I did only need 3 squares. Maybe that was my fault by being like, oh my god, we totally need more chocolate. I mean, maybe I should have just added 1 more square, but like now I have a bunch of extra chocolate. I guess I do have another banana. I could make another batch if I want. Initially, I thought these were gonna be ones that you had to put in the freezer, but it just says to let them cool before enjoying, so I'm gonna let them sit for a few minutes and then try it. I really like Snickers, so I feel like I'm gonna really like these. I know there's not banana in Snickers, and these are different, but just like the chocolate, I don't know, peanuts. I guess there's not peanut butter in Snickers either. Maybe that's not a connection, I don't know. I ended up throwing these in the freezer for a few minutes just so they could cool faster because the chocolate wasn't hardening. Let's go for it. That's pretty good. I'm not always like a chocolate fruit person. Like I don't even really like chocolate covered strawberries, which I feel like so many people are obsessed with, but I could get behind these. Honestly, overall, I do really like her meals. Some of them are a little time consuming, but in general, they weren't like that hard. You know, like I'm a very average person and I can handle them all. I mean, sometimes that's just the price you have to pay though, like healthy meals might take a little bit longer. However, a lot of these you could meal prep ahead of time. So many of them included mixtures that you just throw a couple ingredients together or cutting up things, and that's stuff you could do way ahead of time to save time for the day you're eating it if that works better in your schedule. Here was the total stats for the day. We have a total of 2,391 calories, 107 grams of protein, 196 grams of carbs, and 124 grams of fats. I just chose these meals based off of what looked good to me. I didn't choose them for any sort of outcome with these numbers. Maybe you would adjust your day if you didn't like these numbers, but I really like how each meal is very well rounded. Keep in mind she does a lot of weight training and stuff like that. And keep in mind my ingredients could make these stats vary a little bit because obviously I didn't use the exact same brand as her with every single thing, but I did go off of her numbers that she has from the recipes. I was also very full after each meal. Like I did not need the snack or the dessert, so that's something to keep in mind. If these numbers look too high for you, well, each thing was very filling and I probably could have adjusted it to make all of them lower for my typical day. But obviously here I wanted to try everything. But she seriously has so many on her app, and you can get a 2-week free trial. So if you want to check it out and just see, you know, you got free 2 weeks to try out meals and stuff, or save some while you're on there for later if you don't end up paying for the app or whatever. But she's super cool, so I wanted to put them to the test. To be honest, I do like all of them, and any critiques I had, I said during the meals. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want me to do another one of these videos inspired by someone else or another app or something like that. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in my next one.